أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. If you haven't got the word yet, abortion is legal in all 50 of the United States. And I know it has something to do with Sister Ketanji Brown Jackson, black girl on the Supreme Court. No more abortions. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that when you abort your child, you will regret it later, and the Holy Quran teaches us that you're not supposed to do that because of any reason. Most people do it because they fear that they're not going to be able to feed it or take care of it or whatever, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best provider, and I'm just really, really happy. I personally have had so many that I don't remember how many I've had. Honestly, I don't remember. I even Allah says He doesn't bring up anything that you did before you became a Muslim. It's like you get to start all over. Alhamdulillah. But I'm just happy and thankful to Allah that the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, and abortion, infanticide, murdering helpless, innocent babies is illegal now. I have a issue, parenting mothers and children, sisters and children are my thing, and I have a really, really big problem with parents who think that their children owe them something. The children don't owe you anything because they did not ask you to bring them here. They did not ask to bring them here. I grew up hearing this song called No Charge, and parents talk about, mothers talk about, I carried you for 9 months and did this and that, so you need to be grateful, be appreciative to me. And I'm like, I did not ask you to carry me for 9 months. I didn't ask you to lay down with whoever you lay down with and get pregnant. A lot of parents think that their children owe them something, and it's just very, very unjust to the child. I had to go through that, and just parents who are unfit to be parents. Your children do not owe you anything. And the main problem is fornication and adultery, which is outside of the boundaries of marriage. When you're married, then you have a better chance of being better parents, but even then you have to be Muslim, pray, and you'll give birth to productive, healthy children. So perhaps if now that abortion is illegal, it will eliminate those things, and I just think it's wonderful. I know Sister Ketanji Brown Jackson is responsible, you know, and the reason for this, because abortions were primarily targeted toward black women to prevent us from giving birth to black children. And to, you know, I had so many, I can't even remember how many that I've had, but you go in there, you lay down on that table, and you don't know what they're doing. They can take out your uterus, they can make you impotent, I believe, or barren, where you're not able to have children at all. You don't know what they're doing when you give them power over you, you know. And the first time I went, my boyfriend, I was not married, I was in high school, and there were a group of protesters outside the abortion clinic. And they had signs with what the baby looked like, and they were white people trying to prevent sisters from going in there. But my boyfriend, who I later married, and he still forced me to have abortions after we got married. So, sisters, if you are with someone who tries to make you have an abortion, you know he doesn't love you, you know. So, anyway, there was white people out there with signs saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And, you know, when you're young, you know, or just, I feel like black people in America have no intelligence whatsoever at all. So but it was actually white people trying to tell me, don't do it, you know, that you have other options, you know. And then I saw a video by Lil Wayne, and it showed a girl who went in the abortion clinic because, you know, she was being forced to do it. But when she got in there, she escaped. You know, she didn't do it. You know, she ran away and kept her baby. And I just think it's a wonderful thing, because I know a sister who got older, and the way society is, it's just so jacked up from the bottom to the top, top to the bottom, and everything in between is completely designed to evil murder, and it's just horrible. But number one, it has women working outside of the home, so a lot of sisters postpone postpone children, and it's more difficult to get pregnant when you get older. I met a brother who was considering fathering a child for a sister who was unable to conceive. She was older, and she felt like she was ready to have a child, but she wasn't married. She had a career, you know, and there's a lot of sisters out there who, I don't know if they had abortions before, or just when you get older, it's more difficult, you know. When I was young, I could get pregnant just looking. You know, they say that you just look at her and she get pregnant, you know. And you can use a condom, you still get pregnant. You can be on birth control, you still get pregnant, you know. And that was me when I was younger, you know. So this brother was considering fathering this child because, you know, I guess he had good genes or whatever, but that's like slavery, you know. It's like the child business, and I believe that's still going on, you know. Like with me, I don't believe that they killed the babies when I went to have an abortion, you know, because black people, we have the genetic makeup to produce gods. So even if it's just for the stem cells, you know, the tissue from the unborn child, they won't kill it. You know, I had a miscarriage, and I didn't know that I was pregnant. I just went to the hospital because my stomach, you know, was hurting really bad, and I get there and she's like, "Oh, you're pregnant and the baby's dead. So just sit here, take this, and then, you know, you'll just give birth." And so I gave birth to this little beautiful black baby, and it was black, you know, which is rare. You know, how many people have black children from birth, you know? And I was like, oh my God, you know, but I wasn't Muslim, and I didn't, you know, if I had been Muslim, I would have been, you know, let me see it, let me take it with me, let me, you know, because Muslims have been known to take the baby out of the mother, operate on the baby, and then put the baby back in the mother until it's completely formed, you know. So I know I have children out there. I see them because I call it Shabazian features with the wide nose and the thick lips. And those are just the most beautiful features in the world. You know, if you got wide nose and thick lips, that's original. You know, you can only get that from a black man and woman. Black woman, I'll say. But Roe versus Wade has been overturned by the Supreme Court. It's amazing. I was in college, and I don't know what class it was, but I learned about a lot of court cases. You know, when I was young, I told my mother I wanted to be a judge, and I think it was a lost plan for me to know the law, because I remember Roe versus Wade, I remember Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown versus Board of Education, and the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, you know, a lot of legal things. And it's like, you really just want justice, you know, and Nation of Islam justice is one of the things that we demand. I didn't even know what it was really until I had my son. But in our flag, it's freedom, justice, and equality, you know. And a lot of people, I think, don't, who wear our flag. I put it on my jacket, but it's the Star and Crescent, and the red is the sun, the moon and star, and it has letters ISJE, which is Islam, Freedom, Justice, and Equality, which is what Allah wants for all black people, especially the so-called American Negroes. So, justice. Get some justice. I used to go to Planned Parenthood, which was just abortion, for black people. Let us kill your babies. It's Yaqub still going on, genocide, that's what they call it, but we're making progress with the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Wait till you get married, and don't be in a hurry to get married. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, be patient and stay chaste. Sisters, 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 sisters. It's so many things that we have to ensure that our marriages last until death. Okay, we don't want the D word, because they're children, and it's a very, very, divorce is like worse than murdering somebody. So you, sisters, when you see a brother, do not look at him, lower your gaze, and you never, ever, never, 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 never approach a brother, make the first move or anything like that. The brother has to approach you, and he has to send a female to you as an ambassador, because a lot of marriages have friction between the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, and the wife, and that makes problems for the daughters, and the husband. If his wife and his mother, or his wife and his sisters, or the females in his family don't like his choice of a wife, then the marriage is doomed. It's never gonna last. So brothers, this is where you come in. Get your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your mama, your grandmama to check out the sister, because they're females and they might see something in her that you don't see. And if she doesn't meet their approval, then you find somebody else, because she's going to have to fit in with them. I saw a family at the mall, and a brother had like 4 sons and 1 daughter and his wife. And so the daughter and the mother looked just alike. They were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they had on long dresses and hats, similar to the Muslim we cover. But the son's girlfriend had on some booty shorts and a little shirt, and she was with him. And I'm like, they're on vacation. That's wrong. She's supposed to be with the daughter and the mother, dressed like them, and blending into their family, So I was like, that's not gonna work. But brothers, if you see a sister who you think will make a good wife, show her. I mean, she doesn't even have to know, just take your sister or somebody who you feel would be a good representative from your family to look at her and see her, maybe go talk to her without her knowing who she is, and seeing where her head is at, and then she could come back to you and give, a scale rating, like, yeah, she maybe 75% good, and we could work with her or something. But if she's like, nah, then you listen to her and find somebody else, and will have better success with our marriages, you know, because it's joining two families. A marriage is not just between the husband and the wife. It's joining two families because you're going to have children, and the children are going to be a part of both families, right? So the wife has to pass inspection, or whatever you want to call it. She has to be approved by the women, the females in your family, before you add her or try to, you know, force her on them. You know, I think that was a problem with my mother. She was, you know, attractive to men, you know, but the females didn't, you know, they're like, for whatever reason, they didn't, I don't think they really liked her. So, my parents ended up getting a divorce, you know, which is still difficult for me, and I was, you know, older when, they divorced, but, I would like to see black families, father, mother, children, grandchildren, father, mother, children, spouses, grandchildren, children, grandchildren, spouses, children, grandchildren, and no more broken families, you know. I was in New Orleans, and I met a sister who really wanted to leave her husband, but she had a son, and she was like, I'm gonna stay with them for my son's sake, you know. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing, especially as females. There are to me, I'm like one man, period, my whole life. One, if he cheats on me, I would probably, I don't know what I would do. You really can't say until you're in that situation what you would do. You really can't say, because there's so many variables. But I know one thing: I would not marry anyone else after him, because I would feel dirty. You know, my body was not made for two men. So that's, you know, how it is being a female. It's just like that for us. You know, we are the mothers of humanity, especially a black female. Just the things that we're able to produce. When I saw that little black baby, like this black, come out of me, I was like, wow, you know, it was amazing. But I feel like I'm able to have twins every time, a boy and a girl. Every time I get pregnant, I don't know, I just think that that's the way Allah created certain females. You have females who are the mothers types, and then you have the aunties, you know, who are mother types, but they just like, you know, mother to all the children, and don't have their own, but they might nurse them, or just, you know, the mother who helps the actual mother, you know, midwives, or just kind of, I don't really like that term, but you know, just try to preserve the sanctity of family, marriage, and you have to start off right. You know, sisters never, ever, never, ever, never, ever approach a guy. And I'll tell you one thing, since I became a Muslim, I had to learn how to not flirt and make the guy have enough courage to approach you. And it helps if he gets a female to do it, because sometimes they feel like they don't want to be rejected, so they look for any kind of indication, like even if you just, like, there were things, they call them designing women, where you could walk and you drop something and then the brother will like pick it up and hand it to you, and then you be like that or whatever. But that's deceptive. It's trickery. You don't want that type of relationship. So just wait. And I tell you that, because all my life it's been like well, anyway, when a guy actually approached me, I was like, oh my God, it just makes you feel your confidence and your self-esteem just like goes through the roof, and that was, a good feeling. But it didn't last, because he approached me, and if he had a sister approach me, it would have been better, because I ended up meeting the sisters in his circle, and I guess I didn't meet their approval, but so brothers, have the sisters in your circle meet the female who you want to add to your circle, and you have a better success, at lasting longer, because they'll be inclined to help keep you guys together. You know what I mean? Relationships need help. You have to have a support group to help you guys stay together, and I'm an advocate for therapy. A lot of times people just break up without even attempting to seek help, outside help, to help them stay together. But if you have that foundation, then you'll have people who want you to stay together. They might notice something is wrong before you even notice it, and they'll be able to prevent it from getting worse. You know what I mean? So I guess that's basically what I'm saying. Brothers, have the sisters, meet the sister you're interested in, and if you're not, I've said it so many times that it'll make you sick, but don't even think about getting involved with the sister if you aren't ready to marry her. Period. Do not even think about getting involved with a sister if you are not ready, prepared, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, to marry her. Just let her go on about her business, But, if you are in a position where you're able to support yourself and a wife and at least one child, then have the female in your family who, it's always one who's like a leader, and say that's her over there, and then she could talk to her or whatever, and give you thumbs up or thumbs down. And sisters, do not speak to any brother who steps to you. That is not decent and intelligent for a brother to just approach a sister. It makes you feel cheap. It's kind of like a proposition, you know. Have, I mean, when you're young, brothers used to do that, like pass you a note or something, or have his friend go up to her and be like, hey, my friend wants to talk to you or whatever, you know. And that's really the way that you're supposed to do it. You know, children, I believe, have an insight into what's decent and intelligent. So the guy's friend would be like, hey, my homie wanna, you know, your number or something like that, you know. So we'd be like, oh, you know, and but have a female do it, you know, because the guy, he might it's kind of the same thing, you know. A guy approaching a female, no matter what he wants, you know. If a guy approaches me, I'm running. I'm telling you right now, I'm running. If I'm not, you know, if he sneaks up on me, then I'm in fight mode, you know. But if a sister approaches me, I'm, you know, more likely to be like, hey, you know, talk to her. But if any guy approaches me, I'm running. I'm not looking at you. I'm ignoring you. I'm not speaking to you. You're gonna get, you know, I can't remember what they used to call it. Give the hand, I guess. Back in the day. Stop right there. Jamie Foxx be like, I can't remember what we used to call that. The 90s are really like making a comeback. It's crazy. 90s babies are in their 30s now. So they're about that age. You know. But I say it one more time because it's crucial. You know, then we won't have the problem of the abortion. I have to start with the brothers. Brothers, get your sister, your cousin, your auntie, TD, grandma, your mom. Your sister is probably the best because she'll be about the same age. To check out the sister you're interested in. You shouldn't even have spoken to her. You know what I mean? You just observe her. You know, her actions, mannerisms, the way she carries herself. And tell your sister that's her right there. You know, and then she could probably look at her and be like, nah, alright, let me go talk to her for a minute. You know, and then she could give you yay or nay, you know, red light, green light, you know. So if she gives you the green light, she could probably tell her right then when she talks to her, my brother is looking for a wife. You know, I went to Jumu'ah yesterday and the khutbah was telling, you know, be straightforward, you know, don't beat around the bush, you know. And or, you know, she could I feel like that's what you should do in the beginning anyway. You know, what are your intentions? That's how it used to be, you know, to follow when the guy comes, what are your intentions with my daughter? You just want somebody to kick it with, somebody to look pretty on your arm until you find somebody else, somebody to keep you company for right now. No. We don't have time for that because it's only going to end in disaster. You know, so then if the sister is like, you know, I would be like, tell me about him. What kind of person is he? You know, my number one thing is, what is his diet? What type of food does he eat? You know, that, you know, if our diets are not the same, it's not going to work. You know, she's responsible for cooking and the children, you know. So he's responsible for providing the food, you know, so our diets have to be in sync. You know what I mean? I accepted a courtship from this guy who still ate chicken, you know, and I do not eat meat at all. And that, you know, ended in disaster. So I'm like, all right, we have to be in sync. You know, our diets have to match, because your diet determines the rest of your lifestyle. You know, it determines your sleep. It determines your modesty. It determines the way you behave. The physical food that you intake into your body determines everything else in your life. So if your diets are not synchronized or congruent, then the relationship is not going to be congruent. So, you know, and it determines your sleep patterns, you know. And I grew up on hip-hop, and one of the main things that was in the music was don't sleep, you know. So I have like irregular sleeping you know, habits. But I'll tell you right now, the foods that I eat is basically dairy, milk, cheese, butter, cream, you know, anything from milk. We are mammals, so you have to have milk. Don't believe the white man. They just want you to not enjoy the best that Allah has put on this earth. Another word for paradise is the land of milk and honey, right? You know, and they have those things at any store you go to. You can get milk and honey. So don't eating almond milk and soy milk and rice milk. No, get milk from a mammal. I'm thinking about getting a pump, because I'm like a mother type, so I always have milk. But it's just, if I can get over the embarrassment of actually buying a pump, then I would drink my own milk, you know. But milk, bread, and bread is like so many different types of bread. I'm not able to prepare my own bread, but if I could, I would do that, you know. So spend a lot of time trying to find the best bread, you know. And I'm in Hawaii, and they have their own type of bread. You heard of Hawaiian bread? It's just like so good. I can just make my own cereal with that and milk. Just pour some milk over it and just eat it, you know. And it's just really good. But I eat bread and milk and wheat bread and fruits and vegetables, you know. But you got to be careful with your fruits and vegetables, because some aren't good for you. And coconut, I think that's for men. I think men, because women and men have different bodies, you know. So we eat, some foods are ideal for women and some foods are not, you know, they're for men. But milk and whole wheat bread and fruits. My favorite fruit has always been ananas. I think that's how you say it in Arabic. Ananas. I got one. It's so good. It's making everything, all my stuff and me smell good. Get it. It just smells so good. Smell it right here. And I used to break this part off at the store. Just take that part off because you are charged by the pound and you can't eat that part, so why should I pay for it? You know, I would be in the grocery store with my knife trimming off all sorts of things of my vegetables. My cauliflower, I would take out the leaves. My corn, I would take out the leaves. My ananas, I would take out this part. But this is my favorite fruit. The number one fruit in the world. This is just so good. I could just eat it like that. And I guess that's it. You know, it's working for me. You know, people, I think my son got hit. Somebody was trying to kill him because they thought he was my boyfriend. You know, it's a lot of sisters like that. I know a sister who, she and her husband, they were like soulmates, made for each other, you know, and had 8 children, and he was killed by his like closest friend. And like Janet Jackson in Poetic Justice, her boyfriend got killed. And it's just a lot of sisters who guys get jealous and they will kill their boyfriend because they're jealous. So I mean what was the corona and people were like tripping, and he's like, this is my mom, this is my mom, this is my mother, but we don't look like it. They think we're either brother and sister or married or something, you know. And I'm like, he just turned 20, I just turned 1 and 50, you know, but people think we're the same age. And it's because of the way that I eat. Meat is poison. Do not eat it. It's poison. Don't eat any type of meat. It is poison. You know, that's just the best way that I can put it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it poisons the blood, but it's poison, so do not eat any type of meat. I don't eat fish either. I don't eat eggs. That's birds. Don't eat anything that had parents. Milk is enough. Milk, cheese, cream, cashews, everything around me. Cream, get the cream. Ice cream. Oh, and as far as like condiments, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said vinegar is the best condiment, and it's so good. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Vinegar makes your womb more receptive for the Y chromosome, which is why in Islam there are a lot of brothers. There aren't a lot of sisters because Muslims eat vinegar a lot, and that makes you have boys. It makes you have a boy if you eat vinegar, and it makes your food taste so good. I can eat bread and vinegar, and it's good. I eat cheese and vinegar, sunflower seeds and vinegar. and I use honey. And you can eat bread, vinegar, and honey, and milk, or oil or something. I use olive oil. I have my spices. My main spices that I always have are cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom. I tried saffron just because it's like the most expensive spice in the world, but I think that's a gimmick. It's basically used as a food coloring, but as far as flavor, it's not really that good. It's just expensive. It's a gimmick. Saffron, but cardamom, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Always have. Then I have ginger. I have some cayenne peppers. I have curry. I get the mild because sometimes I don't want that spice. If I want the hotness, I'll just add some curry to it. A lot of the times I'll get Red Rooster hot sauce, but that's just the vinegar and the cayenne. Uh, Jalapeno, that's if you want some spice. Let me see what else I got. Oh, and I keep mint extract and almond extracts. You just keep those, and my salt, I get garlic salt. I don't mess with the what they call it, Cajun Creole seasoning anymore, because I think it's crawfish that gives it that yummy gumbo flavoring, but crawfish is like a cancer in the ocean, and people who eat crawfish look disgusting. I know it tastes good, but crayfish is the actual word, and it's like a cancer. I googled it. It's a cancer in the ocean. Don't eat any type of shellfish, oysters, lobsters, shrimp, crabs, clams. Don't eat octopus, shark. They eat all type of stuff. The only thing you should eat out of the water is fish, and make sure your fish is under 10 pounds. And I would say don't eat none of it. Just eat fruits and vegetables, milk products, and bread, wheat bread. Okay, but my phone is about to die, and I talked enough. So just, if you eat those things, then you can have peace, which is the number one thing that you can ask for. Just find peace, and inshallah, you live right, you'll find someone else who is at peace, and you guys can live in peace together and have peaceful families. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.